What's up guys, Zoeb here from OneGlassTrader.com, and I'm really excited to share with you my personal settings for the engulfing bar using the OGT Price Action Indicator. And for those of you who haven't watched the best settings for the pin bar using the OGT Price Action Indicator, I will link that in the top right hand corner now so you guys can check that one out. So in this video, again, I'll be sharing with you the best settings for the engulfing bar, and again, I'll go through it as a trend trader and also as a reversal trader as well, because the engulfing bar can be used for either set. So I want to make sure that whatever style of trading you've got, you can use the OGT Price Action Indicator, because it is meant to be an all-encompassing indicator. And if you don't even have the indicator and you stumble upon this video, click the link below in the description so you can download that absolutely free. So I'm going to start with the trend trading approach. So, and again, the template that I've got on my screen now is for a trend trader. Again, I'll link the template. You can download that as well, so you can look at exactly the settings that I've got. You don't need to change anything. So I'm using OGT Price Action Indicator version 1.3 because at the time of recording, this is the latest indicator, or the latest version rather. And like I said, there's many settings in here, and at the end of this video, I'll link into how to use the OGT Price Action Indicator, what all these settings mean, so you guys can have a look at that. But the key things here, we're looking at just the engulfing today, so you make sure that that is enabled as true. Make sure that the MA filter is enabled as true, because this is how we distinguish whether or not we're looking for signals that are going with the short-term, medium and long-term trend. And then you scroll down to the engulfing bar, which is over here. Now, I like to have the quantity range set to 2, and what this basically means is that when a engulfing bar has been formed, it looks at the previous 2 bars in this case and see whether the engulfing bar is bigger than the previous 2 candles, so the range of the bar. So I've set that to 2 because I don't want small engulfings. I want one that has a significant engulfing, so therefore it is really looking at a really big range. And then the minimum body percentage, and what this really looks at is that the actual range of the candle, that the body, the high and the low, cover 70% of the overall range. And again, you can customize this. You can have 80, 90, 10 candles back, whatever. But what I find and what I like to do is use these 2 settings. And again, please comment below if you've got different settings. And again, happy to keep testing this out. But I've been using this indicator now for nearly 2 years, and this is what I find that works for me. And again, everyone is different. So, and again, you'll have your moving averages. Again, it'll all be in the template, so you don't need to do that. And what distinguishes a engulfing bar signal is this kind of, if you zoom in, it's not really a dot, it's more of a starish type dot. But you can clearly see that these are the 4 in this chart here. So I've got the GBP, JPY 5-minute chart on at the moment. And when I show examples, what I like to do, I like to show, if I can, examples of recent price action, so we're really up to date. I'm not showing you something from 3 years ago or something like that. I'm showing you something that is relevant to this date. So I'm recording this on February the 16th of 2020, and again, you can see here that you've got the last bar over here, which was whenever the Friday was, the the 14th. So at the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 signals here available, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one here, because this is pretty much the kind of classic, as you'll probably see, and then I'll work my way back and go through the rest of the signals, because again, what I want to do is show you all the signals. I don't want to cherry pick the best signals for you guys and then show that it doesn't work, because here, you would have been in profit, but eventually my assumption is you at least want to make a 1-to-1 risk to reward here, so therefore you would have got stopped out. But there are reasons here why I wouldn't take this trade, and I'll go through that in a second. So again, a signal is only as good as what it shows. There's got to be some experience, intuition, and that will come over time the more and more you trade with this indicator. So this is showing a buy engulfing bar here, and what this is basically meaning is that price has made an up move, it's pulled back, and now is continuing in the direction of the trend, and that's basically what we want to see. And you'll keep hearing me saying this, it's not all in all getting a signal like over here, it's all about where it's positioned on the chart. So the reason why I really like this engulfing bar is that it hits the criteria, which is great. So the indicator does all that hard work for me, so I didn't even think about that. What I like to do is when I see a pullback on a trend trade, what I like to do is see price going into the moving averages, or even better, below the moving averages. And as you can see, the moving averages stay all intact and they don't cross over. And for those of you who are new, I'll link in the top right hand corner a video that talks about the whole logic behind these moving averages, because it could be a bit confusing. But for those of you who have been on my channel for a while will understand exactly what I'm talking about. That you put the pullback in, the short, medium, long-term moving averages are still, you know, in the right direction. As you can see, it was a perfect bottom to go continue in that direction. And whether you're going for 1, 2, 3, 3 to 1 or a trailing stop, you know, you would have made a nice profit out of this move here. Now, if I go back and look at these three signals, so these are all downtrend signals. As you can see, that there's been a move down, price has pulled back into the moving averages, and this engulfing bar is formed. Again, for me, I didn't know any of this existed. Perfect scenario in my from my perspective of a sell trade. And again, it was kind of really the kind of first or second main pullback in the trend, so fairly early on inside the trend is also something I look at as well. So the change happened here, where you can see the tight movement of the moving averages down in there. Now, depending on what your exit strategy is, and again, there's a lot of work I'm doing at the moment producing videos around exit strategies. You could have made 1-to-1, or you know, you might have moved your stop to break even, but eventually, depending on where I would have put my stop above the bar and above these, you know, moving averages here, depending on how far up you did, you might have got stopped out, or you might have just been lucky, depending on whereabouts you put it. So at this point here, let's assume that you got stopped out, comes back in, hits this low again, and another engulfing pattern forms. Now, the reason why I like this, again, if you think about it, again, price has pulled back again into the moving averages, which is great to see. But now you've kind of built a kind of range over here. So you've got your kind of support, or resistance, sorry, and then you got your support over here. So again, if it was me, I would have taken the trade, put the stop above what we think the range is, and as you can see, it pretty much was the high, and then you get this long move down. I probably would have put profit over here, at least move stop to break even, or at least just taking profits completely there. No idea what it was going to do there. So then it continues to go down and then pulls back again, and then it shows you another engulfing bar. Now, the reason why I wouldn't take this engulfing bar, because it's not a pullback. Yeah, because the pullback is here. I'm expecting to see engulfing bar over here, and price to be, you know, in and around the moving averages. Price is here. Price is, you know, in this scenario, 10 pips away from the moving averages, whereas in the other two, it's 1 pip, 1 pip, and this one is actually below. Well, it's actually inside. When price actually closes, it's inside there. So you know, you can see here we're so far away in relation to where we are, that for me, that this isn't a strong engulfing bar to take in relation to where it is on the chart. And also, if you look at this move here, it's gone down its range, it's made another low, it's come back, and it does go down a little bit. You are in slight profit here by like 7-8 pips, and again, depends, are you a scalper, or are you a, you know, risk to reward ratio of 3-to-1, or whatever it may be. You've got to look at all these things and make your decision on whether or not that this is the best pin bar to take. Not pin bar, sorry, engulfing. So that's an example of a trend trading pin bar examples. And again, you'll see now that it's not all about just taking every signal that comes. You've got to put some intuition experience on it. It's very hard to code all of the stuff I just talked about in there. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, and I'm sure there's a way I'll work out to do it. And yeah, so hopefully that's given you some insights on there. So now I'm going to walk you through the settings for the engulfing bar that I like to use when I reversal trade. So for those of you who started with me at the beginning of this journey, I used to do a lot of reversal trading, and now I've kind of moved to trend trading. It's not to say I don't do reversal trading at all. What I've done is that I put the settings very strict, so I'm really looking for the A++ settings, and that's what I do for the engulfing bar. So again, the template will be below, so you don't really need to go through all this, but for those who are interested, is obviously you select true for the engulfing bar, you take the MA filter off, so therefore we're looking at signals, whether it's buy or sell, trend or reversal trend, etc. It's just show you every single signal that there is, but I'll show you what the additional indicator I like to add to really pick out those reversal engulfing bars. So if we then scroll down to engulfing bar, the only changes, we changed the quantity from 2, which was from a trend trading perspective, we changed it to 4. So therefore you will get a lot less signals here, just because we're adding another layer of complexity inside there. And this is a good thing because, again, like I said, we want to look at A++ trade. So the more this setting is higher, the less signals you'll get. And again, the minimum body stays at 70, but again, we're looking, the bigger the better, really. So you can muck around with this and put that higher if you'd like. So the only other indicator I've added to the template is the Bollinger Bands, and I'm not going to go into the Bollinger Bands in this video, but effectively what we're looking at is how many standard deviations price is away from the mean. And effectively you'll see here these are the Bollinger Bands. You've got the settings are that I've set in the indicator, the standard 20 period moving average, and then therefore you've got the upper band, which is 2 standard deviations away from the mean, and the lower Bollinger Band, which is again 2 standard deviations away from the mean. And what we're looking for is we are looking for an engulfing signal. So we've got one over here of where the signal or where price has touched the, in this case, if you're going long, the bottom Bollinger Band. So, and that's basically what we're saying is that price is at a point very extreme, far away from its mean. So the logic with Bollinger Bands is that when price hits the top or bottom Bollinger Band, it is very likely that price will do a reversal, whether that's a short-term reversal or actual trend trade reversal. Doesn't always happen. There's many examples that you'll see where that's not the case. But if we combine that logic of the Bollinger Band with the engulfing bar, therefore it puts the odds inside our favor. So in this example here, price has come down, touched the band, gone back up, and has formed an engulfing bar, which is bigger than the previous 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore that price has then started to reverse, and then as you can see goes in an upward direction, and in this example has gone into a complete trend reversal, trend change into an uptrend. And that's basically how I trade reversals using the engulfing bar settings in the OGT Price Action Indicator. Now what you'll see now is I strongly recommend that you watch the playlist of the OGT Price Action Indicator, which should be on your screen now, which will take you through everything that you need to know about this indicator, and don't forget to download it in the top link of the description.